Under the bright sun, Emily scrubs the porch, her movements efficient against the weathered wood.
Emma lounges in finery, a stark contrast to Emily's simple attire, her gaze sharp with disdain. Their mother fusses, offering Emma lemonade, oblivious to the silent tension. Emily's worn brush scrapes against the steps, each stroke a testament to her labour. Emma sips her lemonade, her eyes never leaving Emily, a silent judgment passing. The farmhouse stands as a silent witness to the disparity between the two sisters. Sunlight bathes the farmhouse kitchen as Emily, flour-dusted, kneads dough, her movements rhythmic and practiced. Emma, a study, in effortless grace, sits at the table meticulously filing her nails, aloof from the kitchen's warmth. The crow of a rooster pierces the calm, a rustic alarm clock echoing through the cozy space. Mother's voice fills the room with admiration. "You are so beautiful, Emma." Emily walks to the well with a bucket, her needlework tucked in her pocket, sunlight warming her face. A rooster's sudden crow pierces the calm, making Emily jump. Her precious cross-stitch slips from her apron, a splash echoing in the well. She stares into the dark depths of the well, her face a mask of dismay and regret. The well stands silent, holding its new treasure as Emily's hope sinks with her craft. Emily, desperate, gazes into the dark abyss of the well, her face etched with fear and resolve. A moment of hesitation hangs in the air as she contemplates the unknown depths below. Summoning her courage, Emily climbs onto the aged stone edge, her movements cautious yet determined. With a final breath, she lowers herself into the well's darkness, disappearing into the unknown below. Emily lands softly on moss, her eyes wide with wonder at the magical garden's vibrant colors. Fantastical plants surround her, their otherworldly beauty captivating her senses. Sunlight filters through the exotic foliage, painting the scene in ethereal light. She steps forward, eager to explore this enchanting, dreamlike realm. Sunlight dapples the winding garden path as Emily strolls. Lost in thought, she pauses, spotting a rabbit struggling with a stubborn carrot. The rabbit tugs fiercely, its tiny paws kicking up dust. Emily watches, a gentle smile gracing her lips at the scene. Amidst the lush garden, Emily kneels, her touch gentle as she aids a trapped rabbit. The rabbit, now free, gratefully nibbles at the offered carrot, a small feast in the sunlight. Emily watches with tender eyes, a silent connection forming between woman and creature. The garden path, now a stage for kindness, glows softly. Under the sun's harsh glare, Emily spots a rosebush, its blooms drooping, a silent plea for life. Beside a stream, she kneels, her hands forming a gentle cup, ready to offer solace. Water cascades from her hands, a tender offering to the parched roots, a promise of revival. Each drop glistens, a tiny beacon of hope for the thirsty roses. Sunlight filters through ivy, painting dancing shadows on Holly's quaint cottage, a beacon of rustic charm. Emily approaches the stone cottage, its walls softened by nature's embrace, a haven of tranquility. She gazes at the weathered door, its wood whispering tales of time and solitude. A moment of hesitation flickers across Emily's face, a subtle dance of anticipation and uncertainty. Her hand rises, a silent question hanging in the air as she considers her next move. A hesitant knock echoes softly, disrupting the tranquil scene and hinting at untold stories within. Sunlight streams into Holly's cottage, a haven of warmth, and the comforting scent of herbs fills the air. Holly, her eyes twinkling with genuine warmth, greets Emily at the door. Emily steps inside, drawn in by the cozy atmosphere and Holly's welcoming smile. The cottage is filled with hand-picked herbs, their fragrance mingling in the gentle breeze. Holly's kind face radiates a gentle peace, offering solace and a sense of belonging. Emily feels a sense of calm wash over her as she enters Holly's peaceful cottage. The fire crackles in Holly's cottage, casting shadows as Emily enjoys a steaming bowl of stew. Holly watches Emily, her expression thoughtful in the warm light. Holly speaks softly, offering Emily a place. "You can stay, Emily." Emily looks up, a glimmer of hope in her eyes as she listens intently. Holly adds a condition to her offer. "But you must cover my bed with feathers each morning." The fire dances as Emily considers the strange request, her fate hanging in the balance. Sunlight fills Holly's bedroom as Emily delicately spreads white feathers across the expansive bed. The soft feathers create a serene, ethereal scene bathed in morning light. Each feather seems to float, transforming the bed into a cloud of dreams. Emily's careful touch suggests a tender, loving gesture in the tranquil morning ambience. Sunlight floods Holly's cottage, illuminating the air as dust motes dance in the golden rays. Emily moves with practiced grace, her movements fluid as she goes about her daily chores. A soft, contented hum escapes Emily's lips, filling the cozy cottage with a sense of warmth. Holly watches Emily, a knowing smile gracing her lips as she observes the younger woman. The cottage radiates peace, sunlight, and quiet industry intertwining under Holly's watchful gaze. Sunlight floods Holly's cottage, illuminating dancing dust motes and casting long shadows across the room. Emily stands by the window, a silhouette against the bright light, her figure radiating a quiet stillness. Her gaze is lost in the distant landscape, a world away from the cozy confines of the cottage. A wistful expression etches itself upon her face, hinting at memories and unspoken longings. The sunlight catches the subtle curve of her cheek, emphasizing the melancholic beauty of her profile. A soft whisper escapes her lips, barely audible. "I miss my home." Inside Holly's cottage, sunlight dapples the walls as Holly guides Emily forward, a sense of anticipation in the air. A magnificent golden door dominates the scene, its surface intricately carved with symbols of ancient power. The door shimmers with a soft, inviting light, beckoning them closer. Emily's eyes widen in amazement, her face illuminated by the door's radiant glow. The air crackles with unseen energy as they approach the threshold, a silent promise of wonders yet to come. Emily steps through the golden door, a threshold to destiny. A shower of gold coins rains down, glittering like blessings. Her clothes transform into a beautiful gown, shimmering in the light. The cross-stitch reappears in her hands, a symbol of hope. Under the bright day, the farmhouse stands, a silent witness to the unfolding drama. Emily stands near the well, bathed in light, radiating an aura of newfound wealth. Her presence commands attention, a stark contrast to the humble surroundings. Her mother stares, disbelief etched deeply into the lines of her face. Her sister looks on, a mixture of awe and shock mirrored in her wide eyes. The well remains, an old landmark as everything changes around them. Sunlight floods the farmhouse, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. At the kitchen table sits Emily, her kind eyes reflecting years of hard work. She begins to recount her journey, her voice warm with untold stories. Emily gestures animatedly, recalling challenges overcome with relentless spirit. Her weathered hands paint vivid pictures of unexpected rewards. A life shaped by kindness and grit shines in her every word and gesture. Dim light paints the farmhouse in long shadows, a silent witness to the night's unfolding drama. The mother's gaze intensifies on Emma, her eyes gleaming with an unsettling, calculating light. A sinister plan begins to brew within her, dark thoughts taking shape in the dim room. Replicating Emily's fortune becomes an obsession, a dangerous seed planted in fertile ground. The air thickens with unspoken intent, the farmhouse holding its breath in anticipation. Each shadow seems to deepen, mirroring the growing darkness in the mother's heart. Under the vast sky, Emma stands at the well, a cross-stitch clutched in her hand, her features hardening with resolve. With a swift motion, she throws the cross-stitch into the dark depths of the well. The sound echoes, a finality resonating with her decisive action. A smug look spreads across Emma's face, a silent victory playing out as she stares into the darkness. At the well's edge, Emma's eyes gleam with a hopeful light, a dream of riches fueling her daring leap into the unknown. She plummets into the darkness, the well's cool, damp air rushing past her in a dizzying descent. Submerged in shadow, Emma envisions the treasure awaiting her, a beacon in the depths. The well's narrow walls blur as she falls, a sense of anticipation and trepidation gripping her heart. Each moment brings her closer to the bottom, where fortune and mystery converge in the echoing darkness. Emma falls roughly onto the soft moss, a jolt of surprise rippling through her as she takes in the scene. The air is thick with the scent of wildflowers and damp earth, an untamed symphony of nature's chaos. She wrinkles her nose, a visible expression of disgust marring her features amidst the garden's wildness. Vines twist and turn, a labyrinth of green embracing ancient trees that stand as silent guardians. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy, casting dappled shadows that dance across the enchanted ground. Emma strolls down a winding garden path, sunlight dappling through the leaves, her face serene and untouched. A rabbit struggles, its tiny paws flailing comically around a too large carrot, a desperate battle in miniature. Emma scoffs softly, a sound laced with disdain, her eyes flicking towards the rabbit with cold amusement. She continues her walk, completely indifferent to the rabbit's comical struggle, a picture of detached apathy. Under the harsh daylight, a rose bush droops, its vibrant blooms now wilting and faded. Emma pauses, her gaze drawn to the disheartening sight of the failing roses. Frustration flickers across her face as she lifts her foot, kicking dirt at the base. A cloud of dust rises, momentarily obscuring the roses in a haze of earthy particles. With a sigh, Emma turns away, the wilting rosebush left behind. She continues on her path, leaving the scene of decay in her wake. Emma strides with grim resolve toward Holly's secluded cottage, a storm brewing in her eyes. Reaching the weathered door, she raises a determined fist, ready to confront the secrets within. The forceful knocks echo in the silent surroundings, demanding answers. "Open up! I know you're in there, Holly!" Emma's voice cuts through the quiet. A challenge. Inside Holly's cozy cottage, sunlight streams through the window. Holly instructs Emma with a serene smile, a sense of purpose in her eyes. Emma nods, her expression a mix of determination and curiosity. "Cover the bed with feathers each morning," Holly says. Feathers drift softly as Emma begins her unusual task. Sunlight streams into Holly's bedroom, illuminating scattered feathers on the rumpled sheets. Emma frantically tosses more feathers onto the bed, her movements desperate and hurried. A close-up reveals the exhaustion etched on Emma's face, her eyes bloodshot and weary. Collapsing onto the bed, Emma's body is a picture of utter physical and emotional depletion. Sunlight floods Holly's cottage, highlighting dust motes in the air, a stark contrast to Emma's listless posture. Emma lounges in a worn armchair, her face a mask of utter boredom, a stark contrast to the bright morning. Clothes litter the floor, dishes pile high, and the once charming cottage descends into messy neglect. Emma sighs heavily, the weight of her discontent palpable in the cluttered space. Chores. I hate chores," Emma says, her voice dripping with disdain. Inside Holly's cozy cottage, a stark contrast unfolds. Emma lounges, carefree and relaxed. Holly watches Emma, her expression tight with disapproval. The set of Holly's shoulders reveals her tension. Her lips are pursed in a thin line of silent judgment. The cottage air thickens with unspoken friction. Sunlight floods Holly's cottage, motes dancing in golden rays, a haven touched by morning's gentle embrace. Holly stands firm near the doorway, her gentle resolve a silent promise and an unspoken farewell. Emma sits at the wooden table, her fingers nervously tracing the rim of her fragile teacup. The warmth of the room contrasts sharply with the cold reality of Holly's words. "Emma, it's time for you to leave." Emma's eyes reflect a mix of sorrow and understanding, a silent acknowledgement of the inevitable departure. The cottage holds its breath, the quiet anticipation hanging heavy in the sunlit air. Sunlight floods Holly's cottage, illuminating dancing dust motes. Emma sits, her eyes wide with anticipation, hands clasped tight. She fidgets on the rustic wooden stool, awaiting her reward. The air is thick with expectation in the sun-drenched cottage. In Holly's cottage, sunlight streams, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Holly gestures, guiding Emma forward with a gentle smile. Emma's eyes widen, drawn by the sight of a door shimmering with gold. The golden door radiates warmth, promising untold wonders beyond. Holly's silhouette frames the radiant doorway, inviting Emma to step through. A sense of anticipation fills the small cottage, focused on the golden portal. Emma approaches the golden door, a gateway shimmering under the sun, her heart pounding with anticipation. Sunlight dances on the golden surface, reflecting in Emma's wide, hopeful eyes. She reaches out, her fingers tracing the intricate designs etched into the door's gleaming facade. Taking a deep breath, Emma pushes the golden door open, ready to embrace her destiny. A blinding light engulfs her as she steps through, a promise of riches beyond imagination. Emma's silhouette is framed by the radiant glow, poised on the threshold of untold wealth. A deluge of thick mud cascades down, an unstoppable force of nature. Emma is instantly engulfed, the muddy torrent claiming her entirely. Her figure disappears beneath the viscous, earthy flood. Mud splatters and streams, painting a chaotic, overwhelming scene. The golden door looms, a stark contrast to Emma's muddy fate. Emma stumbles back to the farmhouse well, clothes torn, face smudged, her eyes reflecting disorientation. Her mother's horrified gasp breaks the silence as she clutches her mouth, witnessing Emma's dishevelled return. Emma's bewildered gaze sweeps across the familiar farmhouse, a silent question hanging in the air. The farmhouse porch becomes a stage for reunion, fear, and unspoken questions. Sunlight floods the farmhouse, motes dancing in the golden air, illuminating Emma's weary figure. Her shoulders slump with exhaustion, a stark contrast to the newfound understanding in her eyes. Emma stares at her calloused hands, badges of honor replacing old complaints. The simple, worn interior of the farmhouse surrounds her, each object telling a silent story. A wave of humility washes over Emma as she takes in the humble abode. The farmhouse stands as a quiet testament to resilience and newfound appreciation. Under the vast sky, Emily and Emma work, their movements a dance amidst the endless green. Laughter rings out, carried on the breeze, a symphony of sisterhood and shared joy. The sun-drenched fields stretch to the horizon, each stalk a testament to their toil. The farmhouse rises proudly, a beacon of prosperity amidst the waving crops. Sweat glistens on their brows, a badge of honor earned beneath the watchful sun. Side by side, they stand, a portrait of strength, resilience, and unyielding love.